News Channel 3 starts off with breaking news right now.
Crews are on the scene of a reported explosion and fire in Plainwell. The fire is burning at Drug and Laboratory Disposal Incorporated. Now, initial reports say a loud boom was heard before the fire. Good evening. I'm Jessica Harthorn in for Kate.
And I'm Andy Dominiani. Let's get right to News Channel 3's Jared Merksma live from the scene in Plainwell. And Jared, you reported to us a short time ago that all are accounted for. What is the latest now?
Well, that is correct, Andy. All are accounted for. We are still waiting to hear whether or not there are any injuries at this point. We have not heard back on that yet. We expect some answers very shortly. But let's take a look behind me right now. You can see firefighters actively working. Back in the distance behind the trees is where this factory, DLD, Drug and Laboratory Disposal, is. You can see some of the smoke coming up from the corner of the building just moments ago, literally 30 seconds ago, just before they came out, just before you guys came out here. You can see them spraying water. They obviously have trucks out there, and they are spraying the hoses from their buckets down onto the building below. They told us a while ago, we knew as soon as we got on the scene about an hour and a half ago, that the fire was contained and remains contained, and that once again everybody accounted for, and that no evacuation is necessary. That is very important at this point, obviously, because when we first got here, there were many people confused, asking questions. You can see, well, you can't see the perimeter behind us anymore, but if we take a look over to the right, and I'm sorry, I'm putting my photographer on the spot here, but you can see over to the right they have a mobile command center up here now. This is the Allegan Fire District. They just got here about 20 minutes ago or so. They got together, tried to figure out what their plan of attack was, and they all headed in. They have to figure out what it is exactly that led to these explosions. At this point, we have not received any answers, any information on what caused this, just that there were multiple explosions. And we talked to a business owner that works just 100 yards, he says, from DLD, and he says that he and his son were nearly caught in the middle of this.
We were in the office and we heard an explosion. We thought it was related to the M89 construction trucks or something, and then my wife ran out, heard a few more, and we saw the smoke and fire and another explosion, and realized it wasn't construction.
Realized in a hurry it wasn't construction. He says each bang seemed to be larger than the one before, and he said there was a corresponding mushroom cloud with each one of those explosions. And just for those of you who don't know, DLD, Drug and Laboratory Disposal, they deal with a lot of very nasty chemicals. Drug enforcement teams from around the state used to bring the remnants, the leftover chemicals from meth labs to DLD, one of the largest businesses of its kind in the state for disposing of these really nasty chemicals that nobody else wants to deal with or is capable of dealing with. So once again, we are still waiting to see what triggered this explosion. As soon as we hear from the Allegan Fire District, as soon as they have any indication, we will be sure to pass that along. You can also follow us for updates at Jared Merksma live on Twitter. But for now, we are live in Plainwell. I'm Jared Merksma, News Channel 3.
All right, Jared, thank you. We did some digging into Drug and Laboratory Disposal, Inc.'s history, and here's what we found out. It began providing small volume hazardous waste disposal services back in 1977. The company takes in chemical, medicinal, and household hazardous waste, combines them into larger units, and then ships them off to bigger disposal companies. It is regulated by the Department of Environmental Quality and is inspected twice a year. We're staying on top of this developing situation at Drug and Laboratory Disposal, Inc. in Plainwell. Look for the latest at 5:30 and again tonight at 6.